Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another round of connections. Yes, we're going to solve connections for, oh boy, Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023. Let's hit the play button. Let's make sure that, yeah, we're perfectly set up. That's fantastic. Now, guys, before I start to read off the categories, give me a second just to resolve a little bit of a controversy that arose on yesterday's connections, okay? And I think this is a perfectly suited compromise. So basically, some folks called me out for being a little bit strict on requiring mountain before states. And I was thinking about it. Just imagine if we were given 4 counties, I guess they're called in England. I honestly couldn't even name you a county. I'll try, okay? Maybe there's a London county. Maybe there's a Thames county. Maybe there's a Yorkshire county. And maybe there's a, I don't know, Portsmouth County, okay? Totally random guesses. Tell me if I even got one of those correct, okay? My point is, I would have no way, if I were given those, no way whatsoever of knowing how to classify them, okay? So I think to be fair, especially to our non-US players, we'll just allow states, okay? It's not going to require the word mountain in front of it. Now, the reason I decided to go for this was that I, too, was a little bit off on my calling of the I think it was the purple category with the bands. No, I don't think it was the purple category. I forget. It doesn't matter. But I'm talking about the 80s bands. Yeah, it was the blue category. So I called it the 80s bands, even though it was classic rock bands. But I think we are definitely going to let that slide because, to be fair, even though I think most of those bands, if not all of them, formed prior to the 80s, a lot of them were in their prime in the 80s, okay? And I only said 80s just because I remember hearing all of them and they having some really great songs coming out in the 80s, okay? But they were still bands, and I think that's good enough as if you were to call them states. So the bottom line, guys, is those of you who gave yourself a 4 yesterday and mentioned, oh, but I only called it states. Guess what? I will crank that up to a 5. Does that sound fair? Hey, is Art the great compromiser or what? By the way, it's no coincidence that Art is related to Henry Clay, if you trace our ancestry, who is known in U.S. history as the Great Compromiser. Okay? So I think we resolved that nicely. If there's still any issues, let me know. But boy, if there is, then I guess so much for the Great Compromiser. All right. Now, finally, let's get on with today's connections. We've got Heart Santa, Rose Lieutenant. Let me just make sure my mic is on. That would be embarrassing if it wasn't. Yeah, we're good. Comet Cupid, Boys Actor, Taste Card, Stand-Up Dasher, Singer Dancer, Vixen, and Chocolate. Okay, this looks interesting. So I see some easy one, and I don't think I see any overlap, but we've got some people that are like, I guess you could say these like are careers in the performing arts. I'll try to come up with a better title, but we've got the singer, the dancer, the stand-up. I think Doug will actually enjoy that. I think he actually, believe it or not, guys, at least maybe in another lifetime, Doug was a stand-up comedian, an actor. Okay, I wouldn't put lieutenant there. I don't think that's going to belong. That just doesn't fit right. It's like a lieutenant isn't really like a career per se. It's more of a rank. So those actually look really good. Let me know also in the comments, guys, if you're okay, if you're on board. This we'll have to take a vote for. Whereas the decision about making states count was just, that's just unilateral. But let me know in the comments if when we do the September team competition, if you guys are up for the extra point for being able to put all the categories in the correct difficulty order from yellow to purple. Okay, let me know if you're up for that. If a lot of you say, nah, forget it, it's stupid, then okay, we won't do it. So we've got singer, dancer, stand-up actor. I would call these, first off, I think these will be yellow. I mean, those are just so obvious. I still haven't quite sorted out the other categories, but these are going to be yellow. We are going to call these performing arts careers, or just performing arts. Bam! All right, and it was yellow. Now I'm going to, once again, guys, it's kind of cool. I'm going to try to get them in difficulty order. All right. So the next thing that looks pretty obvious is it looks like we've got like some Valentine's Day gifts For instance, you give your sweetheart a chocolate. You can give her a card. You could give her a heart. And you could give her a, not a cupid, but a rose would be much stronger. So rose, heart, card, and chocolate. Now what we got to do, I think this is smart because you don't want to burn a guess, is let's double check. Let's think about the other remaining 8 and make sure that they fit properly into 2 more categories. Yes, they do. Okay. So they tried to throw you off with Santa, and the Cupid tried to throw you off with Valentine's. But I actually think we've got, we're way out of season for both holidays, Christmas and Valentine's Day. But I think we've got Santa's reindeer. And I think that's exactly how they're going to call it. You've got Vixen, Dasher, Comet, and Cupid, right? And you've got a few others like Rudolph and I forget the others, but those definitely ring a bell. So those would be Santa's reindeer. And then the last category, is it going to be Santa himself, Lieutenant? I think I might see what they're up to here. Let me just confirm my suspicions. Boys, yeah, and taste. I actually think these are all movies, okay? These are all movies. Lieutenant is a good one. It's actually called Bad Lieutenant with Harvey Keitel. Yeah, that's a movie from the early 90s. Bad Santa, I think, is that the one with, not Robin, oh shoot. Bad Santa. Let me know who's the guy who plays that, okay, guys? Then you've got Bad Boys, and you've got Bad Taste. One of them was a really weird 80s movie, like really low budget, like just a couple dollars. And it had to do with like aliens in New Zealand or something. I think that was the Bad Taste. In any case, that'll be the last one. My strategy should pay off on that. Anytime you have to insert the hidden word, it's going to be 9 times out of 10, it'll be purple. So the question is, do we go with Valentine's and then the reindeer, or do we go the other way around? I think I'm going to go Valentine's. I think that should pop out as slightly more obvious. So we're going to say Valentine's gifts in green. Oh. Wait, I mean, I got the category for sure. Ah, shoot, it was blue. Oh, well, guys, so much for putting them in difficulty order. But, you know, if you think about it, it's just like when we do Wordle, right? There's going to be a situation where you're going to get it, like, for instance, yesterday's Wordle, right? You could get it down to basically beach or leech or peach. And it's basically a guess. There's no further logic or anything involved. It's just an intuition. And so that's why I thought, you know, we could do this. It sort of just gives it a little bit of a fun extra, sort of like a luck factor, if you will. All right. So at this point, it really doesn't matter how we play it out. But I definitely think that the whatchamacallits are going to go next, the reindeer. So we're going to have Vixen, Comet, Dasher, and Cupid. And then the others are the Bad Santa, Bad Boys, Bad Taste, Bad Lieutenant. Okay. So let's see, is this going to be the green one for Santa's reindeer? Yes, it is. And then this is going to be bad. Yep. And they were all movies, not just expressions. Don't worry, guys. If you weren't sure about whether they were movies or expressions, it's totally fine. As long as you put bad in front, you're good to go. There you have it. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, so again, don't worry. If you put states, I'm going to make sure that you get that full 5 points. But remember, guys, it doesn't matter if you burned a guess, whether you said states or not won't even matter, because you only get that if you didn't burn any guesses. So there you have it, guys. That was pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the results. What's up, everyone? All right, let's take a look at the results. I'm going to read these off a little bit faster, if you don't mind, because I think right now, I think we all agree that the scores are correct. I just want to read off the places. I think that's the most important thing right now. And remember, guys, I'm doing what's called, according to Ellen Sassani, a dense rank scoring system, which means that people who have the same score, I put them in the same placing, okay? And it's a perfectly acceptable way to do it. We do it in golf, for example. It's just my preference, okay? If we have a tie for first, then we'll have a shootout, and maybe we'll do it live. That would be ultra exciting. However, do not count on it, because In first place is Oranje with a near perfect score of 99. That's right, guys. We are looking at 20 days worth of results. As you know, you can get a maximum score of 5 for each puzzle. 5 times 20 is 100. And poor Oranje missed just once, naming all 4 of the categories. But he has a near perfect score of 99, which is beyond impressive. Martin Steed is second. Zep Grill is third. And look at this. We've got a nice little cluster of people all tied for fourth. That includes Cable Wire Jason and Salad Von Baco. Brandon Baker is in fifth. Me, Rise to the Equation, I'm in sixth. Pat Merkel in seventh. Ellen Sassani, 8. Melanie Lee, 9. Michelle Lamb, 10. And Edward Collins and Viking 67 are tied for 11th. Let's move up a little bit. So, after Viking 67 is Geraldo with the 12th place. Randy M, 13th. D-Bone Capone, 14th. Dory A, 15th. And now we can go all the way up and I think finish off the table. Okay. And yeah, so now we've got our next tier players. This is like the second half grouping. Cheryl Fezenden is in 16th place. Ascension, 17. T. Clark, 18. Joe, 19. Advanced 495, 20th. G3 Holiday, 21. Geo Human, 22. BMS Houston, 23. Connor Clark, 24. Forsaken, 25. App Guide, 26. And Mata Muertes is in 27th place. Okay? And there you have it, guys. So that's the results. And remember, as I said earlier, I will make sure that those folks who only said state will get the full 5 if they had previously reported a 4. Okay? So I think that's pretty cool. I think that shows tremendous understanding on my part and willingness to listen to what people have to say and not just, and not just be a hard ass. Okay, guys, so I think that's totally fair. And you guys, of course, will let me slide with 80s bands. Okay? All right, guys. Well, with that in mind, we'll look forward to seeing you for another round of Connections tomorrow.